Hey guys, this is your Phonly bass teacher JP. Thought I'd go over intervals with you today because intervals are the building blocks of every chord. So it's important to know them. I think it's important to know music theory. I've heard a lot of arguments against it. You don't need to know music theory, just learn these patterns. Well, so when you're playing a song, they go, it's just a A minor seventh to a C to a G. What are you going to do, right? So that's why we're going through all this stuff, to make it easier in the long run. It's just a short-term pain for a long-term gain. Just think of that. No pain, no gain. Right? That was one of the lyric exercises we went over. So we're going to go into, we've already been covering one of these intervals already, and the interval is a half step. It's a minor second. E flat to E is a minor second, right? F to G flat is a minor second, right? And then G flat to G is a minor second. There we have some company over here, my bass student. Hope he gets on bass today. All right, and so then that's real simple, to the point. Okay, so major second. What's the difference between a minor second and a major second? A major second is a series of whole notes, right? E flat to F, F flat to G flat, A flat, right, to B flat to C, right? So that's pretty simple. So we just covered the minor second and a major second. Those are passing tones to normal chord structure. We're working out of this book today. It's called The Guitar Chord Dictionary, published by Alfred Publishing in 2007. We're reading off page 5. The name of an interval is determined by counting the number of scale degrees from one note to the next. For an example of an interval of a third, well, we need to cover the third. So a minor third is going to be like from E, and it's a whole and a half step. So you go from E flat, E, F to G flat, E flat to G flat. That's a minor third, right? And then a major third is going to be two whole steps, right? So there's a whole step from E flat to F, a whole step from F to G. So that's all that major third is. And the perfect example of this, by the way, is Paul McCartney. And and this is Sir Paul McCartney and the Wings song. And Sir Paul McCartney wrote the song in Paul McCartney and the Wings called Coming Up, and this is it. Perfect example of a major third turning into adding the fifth later on. We're going to talk about chord structure after the intervals, okay? I just wanted to show you an example of the major third in practice. Next, we come out to the perfect fourth, and the perfect fourth is simply 2.5 steps, right? So if it's E flat, we go to A flat, right? If it's F, we go over here to B flat, F. Let's see if that's right. Yeah, E flat to A flat.
I've got butternut squash that needs to be cooked tomorrow.
A flat to D flat. These are all perfect fourths. G flat over here to B, right? And so perfect fifth would be 3.5 steps. So it would be like from E flat all the way up here to B flat, right? Or it'd come from, let's say you're playing an F, you go all the way to C. So that's a perfect fifth. So it's 3.5 steps, right? And let's see. Moving on from there, there's a minor sixth. A minor sixth is equivalent to an augmented second, apparently. So that's 4 whole steps, or 4 steps, right? So that would be E flat. This is 1 to F, 2 to G, right? And then from G we would go over to A to B. So minor sixth. And then from E flat to C is a major sixth. Five steps would be a minor second. E to D, D flat, E flat to D flat. And then a major seventh, right? Because that was a minor seventh. Major seventh would be made up of 5.5 steps. And a perfect octave is 6 steps. 6 whole notes. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5, and here's 6. So we've gone all the way through what an octave is, and I screw around with octaves on the digital delay over here because it sounds cooler when you're using octaves than when you're using chromatic half steps, right? You want to use a full octave, which is 6 steps, which we just went over. So we're going to leave it there, basically, and then we're going to go into basic triads after this. So I believe everybody has the right for knowledge, and that's why I'm doing this for you guys, right? I'm not getting paid for this. It's hot as hell out here. I was in the full sun, but I was making so many mistakes because the sun was just making me dizzy. You know, I couldn't concentrate on the notes. But after this interval lesson, we're going to go right into triads. And I just played one for you right now, Sir Paul McCartney with his Paul McCartney and the Wings coming up. Oh, except without the delay. Notice how he puts the rests in there. Isn't that interesting? He's not the only one doing this, right? So are we, hopefully. I hope everything is going well with you in life. Just take this one step at a time. I guarantee you in 90 days, you're going to be playing pretty impressively. And then over the next few months, you're gonna rock it. That's all I can say. Like in February when I started playing live, it was terrible. It was awful. I was losing track of my lyrics. Yeah, sometimes even in the first verse, right? In fact, there's an example of that last month with one of the songs. So you got to study these songs at least for 2 weeks, even if you've grown up with them, because you're handling this thing, right? And this has to be accurate, right? And there's that little chromatic run that Paul McCartney does on that song. This one on the 4th string, you can probably hear it. It's playing F, G flat, and then a G, all in successive notes. So that's pretty amazing. So I guess you guys ought to have an amazing day. It was lovely spending it with you. Peace, love, happiness, and respect. All right, and I'll see you next time, and we're going to build triads. Yay!